Greetings, Math 1600 students. For this course, nothing that you write up and submit will be submitted in person. Everything will be submitted online. So if you're working on a particular assignment, then it's your responsibility to provide the TAs with a easy to read, legible, electronic format of your written work. Now this is sort of a non-issue if you're either typing your solutions on a computer or writing your solutions, say, on a tablet. But if you're old school like me and you create solutions on pen and paper, well, then you need a reliable way to take your pen and paper solution and generate a high quality scan that's easy for the TAs to read and evaluate. I highly recommend that you all use some sort of a dedicated scanning app in order to generate these PDFs, because the results tend to be of a much higher quality when such an app is used. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use one such app that I happen to like a lot, which is called TinyScanner. TinyScanner is available for both Android and iOS. And it's completely free, although there is a paid upgrade. So I want to show you TinyScanner. I'll note that TinyScanner can be regularly downloaded either through the Play Store or the App Store for Apple. But I've also looked into it, and I found that TinyScanner can be found on Baidu.com for those students who are in China and would still like to be able to download TinyScanner. For comparison's sake, I want to show you the difference between a PDF which is generated using TinyScanner versus one which is generated just by taking a photo and not doing any sort of processing on the resulting image. So here's my sample page, and I'll just take a photo, and then we'll be able to compare the quality in the photo versus the PDF generated by TinyScanner. So there's my photo. It's not terrible. It's also not great. Now I'll show you the result when we use TinyScanner. So I'll open the app TinyScanner. Oops. And it'll look like this. Now, ordinarily in this big blank blue space, it'll show you your scanned documents, but I don't have any scanned documents because we need to create one. So to do that, I will click this camera icon and it'll open my phone's camera. So here's my sheet. I'm just going to get as close to the document as I possibly can without cutting anything off. Then click for the photo. It'll take the photo, and the app will automatically guess where the borders of your page are. And for the most part, I found that it does a pretty good job, but maybe you want to adjust a little bit, and you do that just by clicking and dragging these little corner dots to the appropriate place. So if it's including more than it should, you can fix that, and if it's not including enough, you can fix that also. So once you're satisfied with the borders of your document, you can click this check mark. Now on this page, you can mess with things like contrast and darkness. I actually think that the contrast and darkness so far looks pretty good. So I'm going to say that I'm happy with this and click the check mark again. So now that I'm at this stage, it'll ask me to name my file. Maybe I will name it Maths. So now what I have is a PDF document called Maths. Now, it'll probably be the case that you'll have occasion to upload many pages, or rather one document with multiple pages, and TinyScanner can do that too. So it's showing me page 1, which is the first page that I scanned. But now let's say I wanted to move on to page 2. Well, I pull up page 2, and on this page I just click the camera button again. So here's my second page. Again, I line it up. Once I'm happy that it's lined up, I'll take the photo, adjust borders as necessary. And this is what it's giving me. Now you'll notice that my actual document had color, whereas this came out in black and white. I actually prefer so you can adjust that if you would like black and white, or rather grayscale versus color. You can adjust that by clicking between these two buttons down at the bottom. In my experience, actually, it turns out better in just black and white due to contrast issues. That's not to say that you can't use color when you're creating your solutions. In fact, if that's helpful for you, then by all means. But at the end of the day, experience shows that choosing just the black and white option tends to be a little bit more legible. So there we have it. There's our document with pages 1 and 2. And once I'm satisfied with the document, then I can just go back to the home page. And now what I have is our document PDF, 2 pages, page 1 and page 2. So now obviously you want to get this out of TinyScanner and to somewhere else. And so for that, there's this button on the far right that indicates ways to share. You have an option of choosing to export either as a PDF or a JPEG. And there's all these sharing options. Now, the little red Pro indicates that that's a sharing option which is only available through the Pro version, the paid version of TinyScanner. Regardless, you can always use email, which is my preferred method anyway, and then choose your favorite email application. For me, for example, that might be Outlook, and I'll just email it to myself. So now in my Outlook inbox, I have my file, maths.pdf. Let's go ahead and open it. So there you go. There's your 2-page maths.pdf document. It's in your email, so now you can download it to your device, upload it to whichever website we're asking you to, whatever you like. Finally, just for the purpose of comparing, let's compare the TinyScan PDF version here against our JPEG. So there's the JPEG, there's the TinyScanner. I hope you'll agree that the TinyScanner looks substantially better. So, as I said, TinyScanner gives a super reliable way to generate these easy-to-read PDF versions of your handwritten documents, and we highly recommend that you use them. If you have a PDF generating app that you already use that is not TinyScanner, that you're satisfied with, then by all means feel free to use that app, but you should know that you will be held responsible for the quality of your scans. So even if you use a dedicated app, but the quality comes out poor anyway, and it comes out sufficiently poorly that the TA is not able to read what you wrote, well then you'll be docked points. So I hope this is helpful. We look forward to working with you and reading your beautifully created PDF documents of your original work.